Let's be honest. If you're watching this, you've probably been through it. You've trusted someone with your heart, your plans, your loyalty, only to find out later they were never really on your side. Maybe it was a friend who started talking behind your back, a coworker who smiled in your face but took credit for your work. Or even family, yes, even family, who betrayed your trust when you needed them most. And here's what hurts the most. It's not the betrayal, it's that you saw the signs but didn't want to believe them, because betrayal doesn't come without a warning. It tiptoes in, quiet, subtle. It shows up as sarcasm in a friend's voice, as a missed phone call during your darkest days, as a fake smile when you share good news. But we ignore it. Why? Because we don't want to believe that people we love could turn into people we fear. We don't want to seem paranoid, dramatic, or cold, so we rationalize it. They're just stressed. Maybe I'm overthinking. And that's exactly how backstabbers get in. Betrayal is never sudden. It is the final act of a story that's been writing itself in silence. And if you've been through it, you know the pain isn't just emotional, it's spiritual. It shakes your confidence. It makes you question your ability to read people, to trust, even to lead. But here's where the healing begins, because once you learn to recognize the signs, once you understand what to look for, what to protect, and how to position yourself, you take back the power. And that's what this video promises to do for you. We're going deep into the mind of Niccolò Machiavelli, a man who saw the world not through rose-colored lenses, but through brutal, unapologetic truth. He studied betrayal. He wrote about manipulation, trust, power, and self-preservation. He didn't sugarcoat the dangers of the world. And he didn't ask you to be cruel either. He simply asked you to be prepared. So today, we're going to uncover Machiavelli's 5 rules to never get backstabbed. And no, they're not just political theory. These rules are for you, for your relationships, your workplace, your inner circle, your peace of mind. Because you deserve more than survival, you deserve clarity. To walk through life with your head high, your eyes open, and your heart protected. So if you've ever asked yourself, why didn't I see that betrayal coming? Why do people I help end up hurting me? How do I stop this from happening again? Then stay with me. This isn't just a lesson in strategy. It's a guide to protecting your dignity, your energy, and your future. Let's begin. Rule 1. Trust sparingly. Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone told you exactly what you wanted to hear, but never followed through? That's not by accident. Machiavelli saw this behavior over and over in politics. Princes made promises to the people, to allies, even to enemies, only to break them when the moment changed. Because power shifts, emotions fade, circumstances evolve. And the truth is, most people's loyalty is transactional. They're with you until something better comes along. Machiavelli's Italy was full of betrayals, alliances built in the morning and shattered by nightfall. Sound familiar? It should, because nothing has changed. So how do you protect yourself? You build filters. Don't overshare personal weaknesses too soon. Don't rely on someone just because they're charming. And don't mistake temporary support for lifelong loyalty. It's not about isolating yourself. It's about testing people's intentions over time. Give trust like a bank gives a loan, with collateral, proof, and patience. And always remember, he who is the cause of another becoming powerful is ruined. Don't empower the wrong people. They might rise, and forget who helped them climb. Rule 2. Control your image. Let me be blunt. People are judging you every second, and they're not judging your intentions. They're judging your presentation. You might be smart, kind, loyal, but if you look unprepared, scattered, or weak, that's how they'll treat you. Machiavelli saw this with princes who meant well but failed to project strength. They were overthrown, not because they were bad rulers, but because they looked weak. He famously wrote, "A prince must be a great pretender and dissembler." What does that mean for you and me? You've got to wear the armor of perception. This doesn't mean faking success. It means embodying confidence. Dress like you respect yourself. Speak with certainty even when unsure. Walk like you belong in the room, even if you're figuring things out. People are drawn to confidence and they exploit insecurity. Your image is a gatekeeper. Protect it. Because once people see you as easy to manipulate or disrespect, it's incredibly hard to shift that narrative. Don't let your silence speak louder than your presence. Rule 3. Know when to strike. Here's a hard truth. Most betrayals don't happen overnight. They build. Tiny disrespects, missed deadlines, passive-aggressive comments, promises that mysteriously get forgotten. And we tell ourselves, it's not worth the fight. I don't want drama. They probably didn't mean it. But Machiavelli would shake his head and say, men rise from one ambition to another. First, they seek to secure themselves against attack, and then they attack others. You see the pattern, right? They test you, not to learn your boundaries, but to map them. And once they know you won't react, they keep pushing. So what's the Machiavellian response? You strike, not physically, but decisively. You call out the behavior. You protect your space. You make it clear. This is not someone to toy with. And no, that doesn't make you aggressive. It makes you aware. Remember, there is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others. In other words, deal with the issue now, or someone else will use your delay against you. Rule 4. Keep allies close, rivals closer. This one feels unnatural, doesn't it? We want to cut out toxic people, avoid negative energy, block the haters. But Machiavelli says, don't hide. Watch them, understand them. You must know there is no surer way of keeping possession than by devastating. In his world, that meant dominating the opposition. In our world, it means controlling the flow of information. If someone wants your spot, you'd better be watching their moves. This doesn't mean playing games or being two-faced. It means being mentally 3 steps ahead. Have a lunch with that coworker who's subtly undermining you. Sit next to the competitor in that boardroom. Follow the people who criticize you online. Learn their language. Knowledge is power. Distance is danger. Because when you keep your enemies in the dark, you stay in the dark too. Machiavelli would say, if someone is trying to outmaneuver you, get close enough to know their next move before they make it. Rule 5. Always have leverage. Imagine this. You walk into a room and people stop to listen. Not because you're loud, but because you bring value. That's leverage. And Machiavelli said it plainly. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Your circle, your skills, your options, they are your power. In any relationship, professional or personal, if you're the one who needs the other person more, you're already exposed. So how do you build leverage? You make yourself hard to replace. Learn rare, useful skills. Have backup plans. Be financially disciplined. Cultivate relationships in different industries, different cities, different circles. The more options you have, the less pressure you feel, and the less likely you are to be blindsided by betrayal, because you don't need to beg, chase, or panic. People respect leverage. They fear it. And when you have it, you don't need to scream. Your presence does the talking. Remember this. It is much safer to be feared than loved when one of the two must be lacking. When people know you can walk away, they're much more careful not to give you a reason to. So, we've unpacked it all. The filters you need to protect your trust. The way people judge your image before your words. The subtle art of recognizing when to act. The value of staying aware, even of your enemies. And the one truth people rarely talk about, or leverage. But I want to leave you with something more than rules. Because if you've been backstabbed before, you know this isn't just about protecting your reputation. It's about healing your perception of yourself. It's about not blaming yourself for being kind, generous, or trusting, but learning how to stay all those things without being blindsided again. Let's make one thing clear. Being wise doesn't mean becoming cold. You can still have a soft heart, just with sharper eyes. You can love deeply, but not blindly. You can give, but no longer to those who only take. Machiavelli was never telling you to become cruel. He was telling you to become clear, to look at the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. Because people do change when power enters the equation. Loyalty can fade, and not everyone who claps for you wants you to win. But now you're armed, with insight, with foresight, with boundaries. You now know the rules that protect kings and queens, leaders and survivors. And whether you're navigating an office full of politics or a relationship built on mixed signals, you have the tools to stay centered, strong, and one step ahead. So to the one watching this and thinking, I should have known better, please hear this. You didn't fail. They did. You were sincere. They were strategic. And from this moment forward, so were you. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Now that you know the signs, the power is in your hands. No more delays. No more repeating lessons that should have been closed chapters. This isn't about revenge. It's about respect for yourself. Thank you for watching.